Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking again about unicellular organisms. We started talking about this yesterday, but I want to get more detailed into this today. Okay, the main thing that I want you to understand about unicellular organisms is that they are one cell. So go ahead and put a little star right here. They have one cell. Miss Rose, does that make them teeny tiny? Yes, it does. They are tiny. They are microscopic, meaning that you can only see them with a microscope. They are microscopic. All right. So that's the first thing that you need to know about unicellular organisms. Second most important thing that you need to know about them is that even though they are tiny and even though they are microscopic and even though they are only one cell, they can perform all of their life functions by themselves. So write that down. They perform all of the life functions. So what are the life functions? Well, first off, they can move. Okay, they can move, and they move in all kinds of different ways. Second thing that they do is that they eat. This is also called absorbing nutrients. They can absorb nutrients from the world around them. Now they take the nutrients in through their cell membranes. Third thing that you need to know is that they can grow. Miss Ross, hush your mouth. Yes, they can. These teeny tiny microscopic one-celled organisms can grow. They reproduce, meaning that they make more of themselves. Okay, they can split and turn themselves into two. Fifth thing that they do is they eliminate wastes. So if there's something inside the cell that they don't need anymore, they get rid of it. They push it out of the cell membrane or the cell wall. Okay, so these are all things that human beings do as well. We move, we eat, we grow, we reproduce, we eliminate waste, meaning that we breathe out and we poop and pee. Okay, these are all things that complex organisms do, but unicellular organisms can do them as well. The thing that you need to know is that they do these things all within that one cell. For multi-celled organisms like humans, we need a ton of different cells working together to do these things. All right, so let me give you some examples of unicellular organisms. These are the ones that you're going to see on your test. So examples, you need to remember these. Example is bacteria is unicellular. Paramecium. Amoeba. Euglena. E-U-G-L-E-N-A. Okay, those are examples of unicellular organisms. All right. Next thing that you need to know about unicellular organisms is that they are a simple structure. It's just one cell. They're simple. The main purpose, their main purpose on the earth, their main purpose is to survive. All they're trying to do is keep themselves alive. Okay, their main purpose is to survive. All right, let's talk about another thing. They can take in nutrients and water. So I'm going to put another little star. They take in nutrients and water. So they eat, basically. Okay, they can absorb things through their shell. So they can take in nutrients and water, and they can get rid of waste. So they can literally push out the things that they don't need so they can take in nutrients and water, and they can get rid of waste by moving them through their membrane. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a simple picture of a cell. Okay. So just kind of make yourself an oddly shaped circle here. In the middle of the cell is this right here is the brain of the cell. This is where the DNA matter is held. This is the nucleus. It's the brain. It runs the cell. Okay. It's the brain. Okay. All right. Also inside this thing on the outside here, the outside is the cell membrane. And what you need to know about the cell membrane is that it can be, things can go in and out. So food can come in through the cell membrane, wastes can be pushed out of the cell membrane. And then there's this stuff in the middle in here, and it's kind of like a jelly, and that's called cytoplasm. Okay, there's like a jelly. And there are many other things inside of a cell. This is a super simplistic explanation of what's in there. But, you know, I want you to understand that they can do all of these things. Miss Ross, how do they move? Well, one way that cells move is sometimes they'll have these little hairs on the outside of them, okay? And these hairs move back and forth. Okay, and that propels them along. It helps them to move. How do they eat? I told you they absorb it through the cell membrane. How do they grow? When it comes time to grow, they split into two separate cells. Okay, this cell will divide and turn itself into two identical cells. They can also grow, and they can eliminate waste. I told you they push waste out of their cell membrane. And then the last thing I want you, well, two more things. Right here, I want you to write how they reproduce. They reproduce by splitting into two. Write that there. They reproduce by splitting into two, okay? So whereas humans have babies and dogs have puppies, cells, single-celled organisms, reproduce themselves by dividing in two and creating two cells, okay? And the last thing you need to know on here is how they get energy. Some actually find food and absorb it. So some find food. And we'll watch some videos explaining all this. So some find food, and then some make their own food. So like plant cells make their own food. Okay, so for example, a plant cell. And you know that plant cells make their own food by using the sun's energy. But regardless of how they get their food, they all need it because they all need energy, okay? So here we go again. They are one-celled. They are tiny and microscopic. They can do everything themselves. They move, they eat, they grow, they reproduce, they eliminate waste. Some examples are bacteria, paramecium, amoeba, euglena. Their main purpose is to survive, and they can take in nutrients and water through their cell membrane, and that's also how they push out the things that they don't need. They reproduce by splitting into two, and some find their food and others make their own food, okay? For example, plant cells. All right, guys, make sure you take a picture of your notes so that I have them. You are loved. Thank you.